Hello and welcome to this drum lesson for Love It If We Made It by the 1975. Cool, so love this song. I particularly like the drum parts in most of their songs. They sound relatively simple on the outside, but when you actually break them down, they're just really well crafted. They're just great songs, basically. So let's get into this. There's basically two patterns in this. So it is quite simple, but just has a lot of feel to it. So this verse pattern is a offbeat eighth note pattern, which is really groovy, you know. So what we're doing is we're accenting the offbeats, but still playing eighth notes. Now there's a simpler way of doing this where you don't play the eighth notes and you just play the offbeats. So it's more like the kick and the snare are on, in the verse, 1 and 3, snares on 2 and 4. So you could play the groove like this. Okay? That's an easier way to play it, so you just do it playing the off beats. Because what we're doing is we're accenting the off beats. But it's much more groovier if you can do this pattern where you're playing the downbeats as well. So it's more like so there, what you're doing is you're doing, if you're thinking of it in, when I first learnt this hi-hat pattern, the offbeat thing, you can relate it to a moella if you like, where it's sort of up, down, up, down. And that kind of idea, whether you're executing moella well or not, you know, who cares really? I mean, some people do. It's a cool thing to practice. I have done quite a bit of it, but I use it more of a feel thing. And it feels good to do that kind of movement. So on the upstroke, you're basically playing the bass drum, and then on the downstroke, you're accenting. That feel as well is like a real kind of Brad Wilk type feel as well. He does that a lot. Sometimes it's quite difficult to get that big backbeat because you're accenting there and then you're trying to do a big backbeat on like an upstroke, so it can be a bit tricky. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just move instead of being crossed like this, I'll move my hi-hat hand if I really want to dig out that like snare hit or like a rim shot. Then I'll sort of move towards the rack tom along the hi-hat to give myself a bit more space. Okay, that's the verse, nice and groovy. Then in the chorus, we're sort of getting into this split 16th note thing, but then the kicks change to 4 on the floors, and it's kind of this sort of pattern. What we're doing there is because we're kind of doing this broken 16th note pattern, where then the backbeats become on the right hand. So you've got that space to do your intricate hi-hats. and the kicks are on all the quarter notes. In terms of like the timing of where those are, you like got the first 3/16 notes. It's basically breaking the hi-hat for the backbeats. You're always leaving space for those snares to come through. That's kind of a thing with this song. Although in that verse I'm kind of layering the hi-hat, it's kind of not playing hi-hat and snare at the same time to really bring out that fat snare, that big bunk, because it's really like a big part of the song. Bit of a Charlie Watts thing as well, that. I wonder if he's influenced by him a bit, because he always left space for that backbeat. So yeah, it's just those two patterns. And you can really simplify them if you need to. You know, in that chorus, you could just play straight 16th notes if you wanted to. And then in the verses, just straight offbeat offbeat eighth notes, just playing the one and two and three and four and be cool. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye, see you next time.